Greetings, Emmett here from ReadingforWisdom.com. Welcome to the program. Today we're going to feature some works from Robert Lacey. Robert's a great historian and has recently released a series of works on English history that we're going to be highlighting. But first of all, a couple of Robert Lacey's previous works that I'd like to highlight. The first one is the work that really made his name, I think, and that's The Kingdom inside Saudi Arabia. This work is, I think it would be fair to say, for those of us familiar with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who maybe have been there or worked there, I don't think there's really a better book to explain the inside workings of Saudi Arabia, its royal family, those people connected with it, the history, the influence of the Wahhabi religion, state politics, and the influence of its neighbours. This really is a classic work. As I said, I don't think it's been surpassed. Lacey had amazing access when he wrote the work to the Royal Saud family. So a classic text, and do follow the links to our website where you can look at purchasing and reading more about this book. Then at the turn of the millennium, Robert Lacey, along with his writing partner Danny Danziger, also came to great acclaim with this book, The Year 1000. And this was a look back in history. What was life like at the turn of the previous millennium? So really clever construct. It really captured readers' imaginations, and some wonderful stuff in here. I particularly quite enjoy the sections on hygiene and latrines and the things that affected the human body and diet in those days before sanitation was understood. A really good read. Still stands up today, 18 years after it was first published. But what we're really here to talk about in this episode is a recent series of books that Robert Lacey has published, and they are on English history. So we have two of them to feature in this episode. The very first one is Great Tales from English History, Cheddar Man to the Peasant Revolt. The second volume is Chaucer to the Glorious Revolution. Unfortunately, I don't have the third volume yet. I'm really waiting to get hold of it so I can read it. But these two volumes are masterly works by a really great writer. Some key points about the works. They're written in a very old-fashioned, and what I mean by old-fashioned is a classic storytelling manner. It's old-fashioned because it's timeless. He's written these for all ages. So school children from primary school or secondary school, adults, scholars have much to pick up from these works. So they're really well researched, really well referenced. So everything that he's recounting in these works stands up to academic scrutiny, but just written in such a beautiful, accessible way. And the premise of the book is that history is best understood through storytelling. And he features and he bases the storytelling around great characters from history. Now, we all remember what's in some academic circles considered an outmoded or outdated form of history, and that's history through the lens of great kings and queens and princes and notable figures. Well, this is largely what Lacey does here. It's not all about kings and queens, though. Ordinary folk, ordinary cowherds, heroes from the humble classes are all featured in here, but it does feature some really great stories. Lacey writes in such an accessible fashion. I'm going to read you a few passages out. It is now more than 900 years since the English experienced subjugation, taking orders from people who don't speak your language, being forced to pay for land you thought you owned, and probably having some of your relatives killed into the bargain. There was one law for that Norman, and the other for the natives. William's law gave special protection to all the men I have brought with me or who have come after me. This legal discrimination is reflected in the language that we speak today, a mixture of Anglo-Saxon, or English, and Norman French, or modern English words of control and authority, order, police, court, judge, trial, sentence, prison, punishment, execution, all come from Norman French. And there is a similar linguistic apartheid in the way we describe food. When it came to the hard work of rearing and tending the animals, the words used were English: cow, pig, sheep. When it came to eating them, they were French words: beef, pork, mutton. It's not hard to see who produced the fruits of the earth and who enjoyed them. That's a wonderful little insight from Lacey's book, and both volumes are studded with those wonderful little insights. They're great for dipping into, great for dipping out of, and works I would highly recommend. Enjoy. So if you enjoyed this episode, please do subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give us a tick and visit our website, readingforwisdom.com. See you soon.